Once your child can read on her own, should you still read with her? Absolutely. This is where readers catch fire, and you don't want to miss that. Or, sadly, this is also an age where a lot of kids decide they don't like reading. And this is often because although they have learned how to sound out the words, they still need help mastering the reading process. From the other videos in this series, you know that connecting, visualizing, making predictions, and summarizing are all vital parts of the reading process. So for grade schoolers, you just continue to build on these skills, and we're going to add clarifying to our bag of tricks. Let's start with my favorite, connecting.
Promise us that you will always watch out for them and make sure they don't get into trouble. Do you think that's fair, that the oldest kid always has to be the one who looks after her siblings? Do you think you're going to be always looking after Lalo and Zev?
Not even close.
No?
No.
Do you think it's kind of like the oldest kid's responsibility to kind of keep everybody together?
Yes, I guess.
So this is why I read to my 7-year-old. Books, especially great books, invite us to grapple with life's big questions. You know, I might not sit down with May and say, so what do you think makes a great big sister? But literature invites us to stop and think. And I don't want to miss out on some easy segues to some important conversations, even if she doesn't immediately jump at the chance to talk about them. Then there's this simple but important
And
skill.
her baby sister, what does she look like?
She has blonde hair.
She has blonde hair. All right, so can you kind of picture this? Violet turned to her baby sister and brushed a small scrap of string out of her hair.
Now that the picture books are gone, although they don't have to be, there's nothing wrong with reading picture books with your grade schooler, but now that they're gone, your child really has to be able to see the action in her head. Can I just pause and remind you that you can overdo this? I don't ask every kind of question on every page. Remember, your goal is to make reading time enjoyable. When kids can picture the action, connect it to their lives, get excited about what happens next, they're going to love to read. So do it just enough to help build these skills without breaking the pace of a good story. Okay, on to the other skill, making predictions.
Sunny only eats sharp things. She could not shake the feeling that it was her responsibility to get them out of this.
Oops. If you watch the other videos, you know I just missed an easy opportunity to pause and ask, how will she get them out of this situation? Pausing to ask, what will happen next, is simple and quick. Now, this is a good one to model, I think, because it can easily feel like a quiz. Again, you're not trying to get the right answer. She gets that feeling a lot at school, I'm sure. This is just a time to enjoy the entire reading process. So if you find her predictions are illogical, talk about how you make predictions based on what has already happened in the story. Now, this is where our last skill comes in handy, because with grade schoolers, summarizing goes hand in hand with clarifying and rereading, and it looks something like this.
Now, I forget, what happened to Klaus? Why is he acting this way?
Because he got hypnotized by Dr. Orwell.
Oh, right. So when he came back, he was like acting strange, or what was it again? Let's see. When he was, yeah, my birthday's Klaus. You're at the Lucky Smells Lumber Mill, and surely you remember that. And he doesn't answer. So ever since he went to this eye doctor, something strange is happening to him.
This may seem like a simple task, but knowing when you don't understand is an extremely important reading skill. Many kids are impatient to get to the end of the book and they don't want to slow down and reread. But I'm trying to teach her that reading is a back and forth between the text and your brain, and it's not a one-way linear process. So I play dumb a lot, and I hope it will encourage her to approach reading with the same humility and willingness to recognize when she needs to reread. Reading is always best shared. This will be true for your child's entire reading life, and you can always be an important guide. She knows the more technical parts of reading now, the phonics and the word recognition, but you can still guide her on her journey to seeing reading as an intellectual back and forth between the words on the page and the thoughts in her head. This is where the real joy of reading lies, and this is the perfect time to cement those reading skills for your grade schooler. That big smile, the warm feeling, that's your payoff for sharing the joy of reading even when your child can read on her own. Now, don't forget to print out the bookmark that comes with this video. It will help you remember all that we've talked about today, and check out the other videos and articles in this series, all brought to you by thepowerofmoms.com.